Hello and welcome. I apologise, I've got a bit of a cold coming and it's making me like really sort of a bit hoarse and that. So yeah, I'm on Agres. I thought, yeah, this has obviously only just been re-released. We have the benefit of the test map, which is or yeah, exactly the same. Only obviously, JMGaming has gone over anything that wasn't quite right and has fixed it. And obviously, this is just yeah, it was released on Friday. It's now Sunday. So of course there's going to be a few things wrong, although not so much that we've found so far. Yeah, yeah. I just thought I'd watch this one. We've got the what I really want to do is take those trees down over there, well, that you can see on sort of to the right of us to the house, lift the fence and extend this now, but as I've often said, the farm dictates the jobs that you've really got to do, and right now we have got to, yeah, get the wood out. While we have got this unique opportunity, it is true, sometimes wisdom prevails, and you think, well, it is true that the farm, we've got access to that wood that we wouldn't have normally. It's true. So I thought they would look like lights for a second. Yeah, now I'm blocking off that. Never mind. Yeah, it's oh, I keep forgetting. Yeah, I do. You're right. Okay. Do you know something? I'm going to leave it for now. This isn't the main job. We're going to go over to the telehandler, and we are going to get some wood shifted. I am going to time lapse it because it is one of those. Actually, this is a job that you really need. Well, I do need all of my concentration truly to get your angles right, lift high. So you're not. Well, I'll still bash things. You know me only too well. But yeah, we've done our mulching, and I believe it's August is when we are replanting, is it not? It is next month, not this month. So yeah, and we do need more canola. Yeah, I am totally wrong. Oh, and I think I'm going the wrong way. I think it's this way. Yeah, it's sort of set back a little bit, throws me out every time. And I also need to slow my speed down because ×3 is just way too bad for any kind of wood chopping. I did push them a little bit last night. I said I was going to get this all ready, and I did. And I pushed the wood a little bit, and there were a couple of those fronds where you can see the wood growing. I still think we need to chop some of it down a little. Yeah, truly. No, I'm going to leave you off, although you're a quiet engine, not like a... I should really be on Silver Run, but I thought, we'll start business as usual back again tomorrow. It is a bit of a celebration. This map has only just been released officially, so we're going to get cracking. Yeah, so this is a job that we've still got to do. Let's get this wood shifted, and yeah, anything that's above 6 meters, yeah, to 6 meters. I second guess myself then. Yeah, second meters. Then yeah, we'll chop it. Yeah, massive. Thank you, Cletus, for your very wise comments. It is true, yeah. That's really, I think, what I was trying to say. Was Mr. Silly P worries about that type of thing quite a lot. It does still have the... so I took the measure mod off. I was trying to see if... it is the measure mod that does it. So we do need to stick the measure mod has changed. The writing still reads as before. I wanted to do this as a test to see if the measure mod actually did work, or whether it was the Platinum expansion that had put the measure mod in. It isn't, it's the measure mod, so I am right. So I need to stick that straight back in, because that is absolutely amazing, the fact that you can do the measurements by just grabbing your thing out. And let's just chop that. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a bit of chopping into 6 meter lengths. Not that we're like, obviously, yeah, it's not like we're putting them in a container or something that's a 6 meter one like on Silver Run. It's habits, I think. But yeah, we do want them to be reasonable, because the more bits and bobs sticking out like that, the least we'll get money for it when we take it in. So yeah, it's still a matter of, if you're going to do this, then do it properly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's quite a few bits that need chopping. Yeah, I hate this. Only trouble with working and chatting. Yeah, it is true. What Cletus did say, Cletus, apologies for pronunciation. I'm not sure how to say. I would say Cletus is the way that my gut says, but then my gut's not always right. Yeah, I was on about Mr. Silly P and Frithgar. How Frithgar's just flamboyant. He just gets cracking, and if he upsets people, it's just tough. He changes his mind a lot and things like that, and he does apologise for that, because he is yeah, I like Frithguy. It seems quite a nice. Oh, that's why I can't move anywhere. I'm actually against a log. Yeah, but he doesn't worry about. Whereas Mr. Silly P, you can't please everybody, and in doing so, Cletus is right. You've got to go with your gut, and obviously I'm trying. You've got to have an aim in mind, and mine is to try to be as realistic as possible. It's so difficult when there are so many logs. It really does throw the wood cutting out a little bit because it doesn't know which one to go for. Right, smash it. I don't think there are too many more bits, but I'm quite sure as we're going along we're going to find bits that are hidden in the ground, as you always do, and all the rest of it. So yeah, before I get cracking, I'll finish what I was going to say. Yeah, you have got to stay true to yourself, but also you've got to have a goal in mind, and that is I want to be as realistic as possible. Truthfully do. Obviously I do also say things like the big bag handler are still necessary in my opinion, because mechanics aren't quite there, not for a lot of things, and then you run the risk of this does everything. It can pick up, it can grab a pallet, it can grab what you like. Of course, as Mr. Silly P says, and as I know only too well, it isn't a golden bullet or a silver bullet. You can't unload with it. It's got serious shortcomings, so it's not the be all and end all, like, oh, it's perfect, because it isn't. Yeah, it has still got its issues. Nevertheless, all things considered, I would use this on every Let's Play, but then it becomes a little bit, oh well, you can't do it without the big. Well, I've done entire Let's Plays without touching the big bag handler or the big bag winch. The Old Stream Farm, I went proper all of the way through that. I had absolutely square bales, and we had a proper thing all the way through that, and I had no problem with doing that. So yeah, I am going to sometimes not have Let's Plays where I'm not using the big bag handler deliberately, so that I'm just checking. Oh, I have. It's all right. It's still a little bit not glitchy, but yeah, I can still sort of see at times. And again, there's a lot of objects, trees. Yeah, so I am trying to stay true, but I obviously do. I love it when you comment, all of you, because it does keep me on the short on this what's that saying? No, I only wanted one. Straight and narrow. I was going to shorten narrow. Straight and narrow, it truly does, because yeah, I like you to guide me if I go off track a bit, because it is easy as a human to go off track. It truly is. So I do love it. It's very nice when, and it's lovely to hear from you all. It truly is. I absolutely love it when you, the subscribers and viewers, actually stop by and actually take the time to actually comment. It is so nice to hear from you all. It really makes it all worthwhile, the actual creating the content. Yeah, I remember the days of Lone Oak when I really was talking to myself. It really was. But you're working for the future when you're not talking to yourself. And you've got to talk, as I said, it is true, and it always sticks in my mind. I was talking to you as friends, truly, and that's the only way I can project with emotion, is the fact that I'm speaking to friends that I've don't know yet, but yeah, I'm hoping to know. And there are a lot of channel members who have voiced their opinions a lot, and I begin to know Marty is one. I value his opinion. Kevin, likewise, very vocal commenters, and I do love it. There's quite a few others. Yeah, Luchstar, not so vocal, but he certainly does speak when necessary, and he's done some cracking comments. I mean, and I know I've been one of those quiet ones in the background, so I do also appreciate that a lot of people don't want to comment. And it's very difficult if you're not a terribly confident person, which I'm not naturally, truthfully. You sort of tend to devalue your opinion and think, no, someone's going to laugh at that, or no, that's not at all what it's about. I value. Oh, that one is still connected. Let's chop that if I can find it amongst this morass of tree limbs and bits and bobs. Can I get to that? I don't know that I can. Right, yeah, we'll crack on. I am gonna, I just wanted to clarify that it is lovely to hear from you all. It truly is, and I do value your opinions an awful lot, and do appreciate it, even if it is to tell me off sometimes. Yeah, because sometimes you need it. It is true. But yeah, it's you're my sounding board and my Jiminy Cricket. Yeah, definitely. I love that. It's a fantastic sort of film, Pinocchio, for that particular, for the bigger important things of what's cracking on. So right. Anyway, I'm not going to be able to do a very good job on this unless there's a way to that's it. I've got it. He says now it's disappeared. Yeah, it's so difficult and there's so much wood around. I perhaps shouldn't have pushed it so much together. Right, we're going to do our best, but I am going to go into a time lapse because this is going to be a nightmare if I don't. So I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. Right, it appears we have not got a wood selling point on the map, so we are going to have to provide our own, truthfully. No, I don't really want to do that. I could use the mobile one that I've used so many times, but it's not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put one on the map and treat it as though it really is here, as in like it's not for me, so it's not going to be like right near me. So I'm just going to stop the cameras, I'm going to do that, and then we're going to take this. I'm not going to obviously stand it on the other side of the map, but I am going to hopefully by the debris crushing sort of section, because that seems to fit what that type of things, you know, wood and recycling and all the rest of it. So yes, yeah, I found a wood sell point. I have, so we're going to sell that on there. I've left these on for a minute because I've not seen, I can't paint anything either or drop anything near it without it going high. It's one of those where it doesn't allow you to sort of do things. I was going to put one of the customizable signs near it, but I just can't get close enough to it. So yeah, I didn't want this as a to make it just convenient. I wanted it to be as realistic as it is on any map where I'm going to. This is a drop-off point for a sawmill that's out of town. Let's just put it that way, shall we? Because that's not far off. Right, let's see how much we're going to get. It's not the best time to sell wood. I really was hoping to sell this, like later, but yeah, it is what it is. We need, it's opportunity, it really is, and this isn't. I mean, and obviously you'd always like to sell things at the best possible price, but you can't always do it. Right, I didn't think I'd quite get it all. Yeah, that's a shockingly awful price, really. It really is for wood. It's just not a good price, because there were some really good bits of wood there, really thick. So. And I did deal in most. Well, there was no bits of. So that really was a shocking price. You'd have got 30 grand for that with that sort of load of wood. Oh, what am I doing? No, I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to sell wood. Oh, my life! That's shocking. Oh well, it's not what we're really here for, is it? Let's be honest. Right, let's turn this off. I think I can remember where to go. All that is, hopefully we'll get the next one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the cameras for a minute whilst we're going, and I shall start them again when we get back to the farm. Although, no, it's the getting there and all the rest of it. I will. Beautiful, some absolutely amazing gradients on this map. Absolutely, it's like a roller coaster. Really is. Typical of a mountainy type coming from the Derbyshire Peak Districts. Yeah, I mean, this is believable. Definitely. Can I sneak through there? I think I can with the trailer. There is there's quite a large one. We'll sneak through here. It would be good if we can, if it's big enough. There's one that's a bit small. See this one. That looks big enough to me, but we'll just see. I'm not sure when I've got tree limbs leaning out whether it'll be big enough, but for now I think it should be just about big enough. It's a shame, we really are getting. It's an awful price, terrible. Now then, can we sneak a little to the left without taking out any of my vines? Can we go to the left, perhaps? Would that be better? Maybe it would. Yeah, this is not really for the money. It's a good job, because that really was absolutely awful. Goes so against the grain. I know, it's terrible. Yeah, it does really though. Coming from Silverwood, where you're getting cracking prices for wood, and then literally selling really good wood for like a sixth of its price, it really is awful. Let's have a look what the price is at the minute, because that is shocking. Really is. I know it's not the best, it's probably the worst time to. Wow, it's not really good at all, is it? So no, there's not much of a fluctuation, truthfully. 400 per tonne, it's not massive. That is quite awful. Oh well, it is what it is. It's not really a forestry map, is it? It's not a silver run. That I am very surprised at, in a lot of good ways. Some of the departures from the norm that Giants have done in many ways. Good prices for products. Yeah, I mean, some fantastic prices on Silver Run for products, which is most unlike Giants as we have known them over the years. A nice departure. The land was very reasonable. I have noted that on Silver Run quite a few times about how the amazing price of land on. I'm not sure if I'm stuck under that. No, that's all right. Yeah, amazing price of land on Silver Run, it is we've got bought quite a few fields, and none of them were like much. Well, I think the dearest was 100 and something thousand for quite a lot. Field 1, mate, I think was the most expensive, and that wasn't expensive. Right, I don't think I've actually. Yeah, this is a bit tight actually. Where I've put that, I know. Let's use our heads. Let's go forwards a little. Yeah, that's. I hate that. I seem to be much closer to the lorry, and I got that. Right, let's go straight ahead and pull level. That should be fine then. I am going to time lapse it though. It is true what I say. I don't ever think that I like to go into time lapses. Time lapses are far more work for me as when I'm editing than if I just carry on chatting. It really is that some jobs take a lot of concentration and it's hard to talk, and then there's those uncomfortable pauses when I don't speak for 2 minutes. So I like to give you a bit of music, and when a job's going to take a while, obviously gives you a chance to, if you don't want to watch that, but there's a bit of nice music to sort of listen to if you wanted to observe the fact that I'm doing the entire job. Yeah, I mean, it really is. What do I call it? What do the CSIs call it? Chain of evidence, as I've said many times. It really is just so you could prove that I did do the whole job. Yeah, of course there's some times where I do a session twice and there are cuts that are quite frequently not seamless, and I'm not trying to make them so that you know I'm deceiving anybody by it's hard to do where you get it perfect, where you end a session and then start a new one. But as I've also said many times, that's why I like the clock in red at the top, because it gives you the date and the time, so it's fairly obvious that I've actually come in later that day, or later that evening, and that the time, there is a different time. So it's not me trying to pull a fast one. I've left all of the evidence to prove whether or not I've done it in one hit or not, as well as that's why I like to do a single recording truthfully, but you can't always do that. Life intrudes, especially if you're work and all the rest of it. Right, that's going to be way too heavy. Oh no, oh yeah, it is. We've got the bottom one as well. Yeah, that's the fact that these are gnarly. That obviously also doesn't help on the price of wood. But if that 1,500, we must have had some tonnage on that. So that must be these like gnarly bits where the sideways really are killing us on price. Ooh. Okay, we've got the one at the bottom. Let's chop that one if we can get to it. It's that one there at the very bottom, I think, if I can get to it. Yeah, they are killing us. Of course, there is some good wood, but there's the gnarly wood, and that really is probably a bit separating it again. It becomes very difficult. So you've got to play realistically. It is what it is. It's additional cash, and you've got to look at it that way rather than as if it was logging and you were losing prime product, because this isn't really our product. This is just us shifting wood. So I would like to do the one near the farmyard. I really would have liked to do it this session, but I knew that there was going to be 2 or 3 loads at least, so that I thought there's going to be plenty of work to do for an entire session really. But I would like to do that. I would, yes, I know I'm terrible at this. It's awful. Yeah, wow, that is heavy. That is almost. Yeah, I haven't got a weight yet for this. I keep meaning to do it, and then we get money, and then I get busy and do lots of things, and then I forget to get one again. But it does manage. Telehandlers are so good at managing without a weight. Although there are big things. Yeah, wood is one of those things that really sometimes does test even the best telehandler. Right, let's throw some straps over that before it all decides it's going to go drop out. That's the other thing with gnarly wood. It fills a load, so it can look like a 30 grand load, and actually it's only a 15 grand load. But I mean, yeah, that was neither. That should have been worth far more. So these little tiny bits are really killing us. But as I said, we're clearing our land. It really isn't about Aha, I knew there was one that had still got bits of stuff on it. Let's see if we can get to it. Oh, yeah, it did drop out of the... now I think this is the one you can get away with. When you do that, it's if you chop a piece of wood. I think... it is, it's no. Yeah, you can get away with that, but you chop it, as in you cut it properly, and it will fall. Yeah, it does something to the straps. For those who didn't know, of course, I know that a lot of people do. Yeah, so it's going to be business as usual from tomorrow again. I will probably be on Silver Run first. I've done one more St. Calais as not a finish, definitely not a finish. I really do want to go back on St. Calais. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time on there. I've got the St. Calais book, definitely, so I do want to. When we have finished on St. Agres, I think we will be going back to St. Calais. I would like to, or I'll be doing some sessions in between. That also is an option, because it's a small map, and there are times it is true what I've said many times. As maps, as the Let's Play gets more and more advanced, like Riverside, it is even doing the morning sessions where you're feeding the animals and getting the manure and all that type of stuff. Oh wow, that's coming out somewhat. It does take a time. It takes a long time, which is why I am opting for and Silver Run, like a mini time lapse for going through the morning session, so that you can see. Because the thing is, there are tick-ups. I don't want you to sort of think, why is there a $200? Oh, that reminded me. The second I talk about money, I always realise I haven't actually changed Euro. And this is Spain, not France, as well. Yes, I did think it was not, but I did have when we were first doing the map. Kept on going on about France, and it isn't, it's Spain, so... Right, let's try and get a few... Right, well, I seem not to have gone into a time-lapse. I seem to be chattering. Brilliant, let's get back. Ooh, I've got a little one as well. Fantastic. Yes, I think we'll be going at least another time after this, because this is going to fill up quickly, as they often do with this, with the more gnarly wood as well. So this is where I first started in Farming Simulator, was forestry. Yeah, I literally Sudbury Meadows, loved that map in FS19. Just it got further and further lagging behind because there were no season support, no precision farming, and there came a certain time when the base game it just didn't cut it anymore. Once I had sort of got into the farming elements of the game, I just couldn't. It got samey. It's not that there's not a challenge, but it did. You can very quickly. I like the element of seasons. It adds a challenge to the fact that, yeah, you're only harvesting like that field once. There's a lot of prep goes into it. Yeah. Let's see if we can drag some of this out though. I might not be able to lift it, but I want to separate it if possible. Yeah, so I went back to Sudbury Meadows a few months later and thought, because it is my favourite map on FS19 I'm on about, and I just couldn't do it. It was like, yeah, I just sort of did a few sessions and I thought, nah, it's missing. I just can't go back to it now. Precision farming, well, seasons it was back then. I was learning seasons, and obviously realism of seasons is completely different to this season. So I do wish we could Giants would expand the seasons where you could switch on different elements, because I do realise I think I've said this many times, of all the games I've ever played, this has got the steepest learning curve of any game I've ever played, and if it weren't for content creators showing you the ropes, the Giants help system, although improved, definitely still leaves much to be desired, although it is definitely a step in the right direction. I've got to be honest, I always found Giants, if you can call it help, laughable. It usually makes a statement about you have got to look after your cows. Seriously, that's your help? Honestly, that's what I'm supposed to know how to do, but you just say you have got to look after your cows? no advice on how to manage those cars. Obviously, that was in FS19. It was appalling, but of course, I mean that's the content creators more than make up for the lack that is from Giants. Right, why can I let? No, you've got that as well. I've got the big log underneath. Let's see if we can chop that. Yeah, it is, but I have got to say I'm not slating them anymore. It's not still not good, but it's certainly, in comparison to how awful it was, it is definitely a step in the right direction. Which let's not talk about workers and yeah, the AI travelling across the map. Please, I really don't want to go into a giant smashing session again. Yeah, follow me is. Yeah, I was so tempted. The only time I think I shall be using follow me, I think I will be grabbing auto drive. I truly will, for setting up things on a map to go from, say, the shop to the yard, or the yard to the sawmill, that type of thing. I've always shied away from auto drive, not because it is fantastic. I like automation, but I don't want automation to be. I want it to be as much about a man and his farm, or a man and yeah, because it's not about. I've always said this: it's teamwork. We may be the owners of the farm, and all of those workers who assist, they are very, very important. So there's no way I could manage a big farm like Western Wilds or Agres or Riverside without help. And that's, yeah, one thing I would like to run by yourselves is, I mean, I'd have to test it. I was thinking of, this is, I'm not the only one to do this, obviously there are many people, to do a multiplayer. Again, the mechanics side, I'm hoping that wouldn't detract. You can't beat a set of farmers working together, really. And obviously I'd love to do the I'd just see about the hosting side of things and all that type of stuff, see how it would work and all the rest of it. But I'd love the channel to move to that type of thing, but would like to know your opinion of it. And what I was thinking was, we'd do a multiplayer and different ones of yourselves, cross platform, obviously. Yeah, definitely. I'm not a lot of the viewers and subscribers are Xbox and PlayStation, not just PC. I love that fact that we can do that now. It's amazing. So yeah, it would be any of you just wanted to stop by, really, and it would have to do some sort of arrangement, because you couldn't have 60 people on one session. But yeah, I just want to know what you think about it. I would have to have some rules, but I don't want it to be too ruly based, where common sense, but then yeah, there has got to be a modicum of, yeah, we don't want chaos reigning, is what I'm trying to say. So there have to be some modicum of rules. It's mostly about chatting and all that type of stuff, but I mean, obviously there are services for chats, and again, I don't want to not give people there where we don't hear people talking, but it's got to be, yeah, if chaos ensues, then really that's going to annoy a lot of people, and it would annoy me too. So yeah, I just want to know what you think about it. Some multiplayers where we the entire viewers of the channel actually take part, rather than just little old me and the AI workers, which are yeah, less than. No, that is not. It's not liking that. That's because I'm on a log that's sticking out. Let's see, can we go above that? This is a heavy log though. Still, it is right above me. So yes, I would love to know what you think. I think we'll call it quits at that, because that is, we should do what I've done a couple of times, which is to sort of cheat, where you strap it like that. But you've got to be very careful. Well, actually, no, you haven't really. I've even left the big bag handler on, but I think we should get away with it. If you do it either side, we should be able to let go and, yeah, then pull back. I have sometimes strapped that. Right, so I'm going to see you back over at the sell point again. Please forgive that flying log with where it is not observing the laws of gravity. We will reconvene at this, and again, I'm not expecting to earn a fortune. Ooh, let's not look back there as much as possible, because it's defying gravity. Right, I should see you. In editing yesterday, I I think it was on St. Cali, I tripped a set of logs going around the corner, and I was grumbling and saying, "No, it was well past the corner," and all the rest of it. Well, actually, it was on the corner. It was totally me. I mean, I do still agree about one thing. It's that particular thing is a little bit prone to tipping. It's not my favourite, the Welga. I have said that. It had behaved itself up to that point, but yeah, I'd found that before it was a bit too easily tipped. It had got one of the pallets that for some reason, although it wasn't stacked like that, did begin to lean heavily forwards, but it was 1 out of 8, so that was 7 tons that leaned to the right and 1 ton that leaned to the left. And although it was heavy, it wasn't so heavy that you would have expected it to do what it did, but nevertheless, physics are not perfect, but they are good, and it was definitely my fault. It did. I came around the corner, not really fast, but the weight of that and the instability of the Welga did actually, yeah, make it sort of trip. So it was me, and it was going around the corner that did it, definitely. Just so as you know, yeah, I don't like. Well, it not nearly is always me, but you don't always think it is you at the time. That's any trouble. Now then, please, have I caught something at the back? No, I must be on, yeah, collision at that. Now, I think I should have, yeah, put this a little bit further forward, really. Let's see if we can get most of it over. Oh, that looks not far off. Yeah, so it was all me, definitely. Ooh. Let's unstrap this now and try and not have a look at the flying tree. Smashing, which now shouldn't be flying. No, but it's come back down to earth. Smashing, so it's somewhere over here. Well, yeah, it was a little better. Yeah, 7, nearly 8. Well, it is 8,000, including the environmental score as well. Yeah, we must do some spraying again to get. Well, no, we did actually. I did spray thinking about it before. Right, let's go forwards, I think. Right, I'm going to see you back at the farm, and we shall get another load loaded. That's the other downside to this. I love this trailer. It's so versatile. So I wouldn't buy another wood trailer, but its log poles are not terribly high, which means you cannot stack them ultra. But of course, you can go 50 foot long. We're on a 40 foot. Okay, we have lost a bit of wood. I missed that. Luckily, it's not too heavy. Let's run it back over there. We'll just sell it next time, though. Although no, it'll probably get in the way then. So let's just sell it as well. Not for the money I might have, but to get it out of the way. Right, yes. €43. Right, I shall see you back at the farm, and we will get cracking. This probably will be the session, though, but then it is, as I always say, the farm does dictate. In fact, yeah, we're only a stone's throw away. It is the farm that dictates the jobs, and this was an opportunity that was too good to be true. Yeah, I do want to do that, extend the farmyard slightly, remove that, and I am going to go with what I said. I'm not going to do it where it's going to cost us. I'm going to do it realistically, where we've moved the fence back. So we're going to pick a fence as close to the one that we're going to demolish, because in real life I would literally take it to pieces and move it. So we're going to play exactly realistically to that. Yeah, and obviously I might be really realistic, because there's probably a couple of the fence posts that you probably couldn't reuse. A couple that have rotted out over the years. Although, to be honest, if a couple have rotted out, then your entire fence. So we may pay some, just in the interest of realism. But yeah, I do love this. Yeah, I will probably as well cut the odd one down, like this tree here in the middle. That's really is in where you would class as the work area. But not many. I don't want it to become, you know, like it's really not about. It really is a little mini vineyard. Now then, I don't think there's enough room. Let's play out a little bit more, and yeah, it seems to. Right, let's see if we can move it towards that, but without bashing into our vines like that. It's, no, that'll do. That's not bad. Yeah, obviously the farm, we've got this unique opportunity to grab the big truck through this thing that next month we will have planted. So although technically we could plant, I don't really want to be going there really, where we do go through the field that we've just planted, because I don't think even if you could that you would really do that type of thing. I think that big one there is a tad too large. A tad. Well, it's thinning. I think we may do this, or we might have one more after this. I'm thinking if we are... No, there's some small bits as well. Aha, let's chop that. Weird. Oh, that's going to chop the entire thing. Yeah, and this is the bits that destroy the value. These gnarly bits on the side, but what can you do? It's not a lot, really. There is that new mod as well, which I would like to feature in a Let's Play, which is clearing things by burning. I like that. I've long since thought we should be able to have a bonfire, a bit like a tree devourer, but it actually we just light a match and burn the wood. If you wanted to, you know, get rid of them in a pinch. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I like that. Let's get stacking. It appears we aren't going into another time. That's because it does. Yeah, actually, looking at this, I think we may well do this. Now, one thing I do for those who don't know, you can use wood to push wood. It is a really effective way of getting everything together, even if you couldn't do it, even to the point where actually it sort of pushes game mechanics a little bit, because it's a little bit naughty and will push things it really shouldn't. Although I do think that's improved somewhat. Yeah, there is resistance now, which, yeah, I'm not sure that before you could use a thin log and push it by hand and push a giant log. So yeah, that was a little bit. Mr. CLP used that trick quite a few times to great advantage. Not just Mr. CLP, and I'm not having a go either. You use what you've got, don't you? So, right. Ooh, okay. We have a. I know I'm going to lose them, but we've got a. Yeah, that's a tad big. Doesn't want to chop it. For some reason it does not want to actually chop that. Right, let's try it now. Yeah, that's better. Right. Right, let's get this loaded up. I think that's the last one, but you never know. You can't always see. It's when you've got a pile of wood like this. Right, let's can we grab. I don't know, I think that's enough. You start to go too mad and it starts to go a little bit bad. But yes, I do. I think what we're going to do is we'll probably lease... yeah, I'm only thinking of like thinning the... hopefully not the gnarly ones, but yeah, there are a few like these tall ones that are proper, and almost all of that little copse next to the farm that I wish to chop to actually regain the ground for farmyard. That is mostly harvestable with a proper tree harvester, so I'm thinking of something like the what's it called? I should show you. Yeah, I'm not going to even attempt it. It is... Oh, actually, that's a point. Is there... Yeah, there's also one you can have attached to your... I'll show you that as well, actually. Yeah, that one there. It's the... Oh, what's his real name? Oh... It is obviously a lizard, but it's not really the lizard. It's... I love that one. I use that one on Silver, and it is a beaut. It really is. That's... Even, I prefer that even to the Scorpion King, and that is amazing. So it is. Let's see. I'm sure it'll still be under forestry. Yeah, I loaded it. I was going to take it out. I thought, I don't know. That's quite useful, really. It'll be a bit faffy, as such things are. I would have thought it was in this. It is. There we are. The 3-point wood harvester. It literally goes onto your 3-point. There's a lot of actually putting it down and putting the things in the point so that it goes strong, and that I think is going to get old soon. But I might try it to show the the wood harvester off like that. And I do love this as well, that the Phoenix. I will have to see how we use it. My personal favourite is the Tajfan, the original Tajfan. I don't care if it's not got any green beams of light. I'm quite happy as it was. It is amazing. Yeah, so I do like. Well, I'm not that bothered about the green beams of light and the magic things that you've got on. Yeah, I still love the original. And if you're going for realism, then yeah, you can do without the green beams. I do like the yeah, I think I made a comment a few sessions ago where I said the only thing that I really liked, and I don't mean that I thought was really useful, was the massive one that we have got on silver, and the one with that has got a massive reach. It's not perfect either. It has without those little claws, it would be pretty useless, but it is good. Again, I should show you what I'm waffling on about. It is, yeah, my favourite thing of the platinum is the high lift. I love that. That is amazing, truly. Oh, I nearly got the name of that, nearly popped then. But I also do like, under forestry, the forwarders. Yeah, I think they're amazing. Yeah, we did use one. Once I'd got the hang of it, we used that one, I think, because that one's slightly more powerful. Although it still had its limits, but yeah, you had to learn to, yeah, how it wants you to work, and then there are limitations like there would be in real life. So yeah, it was. I did thoroughly enjoy it though. Is it yard? Is it not a forwarder? Forwarder's it's a yarder. Yeah, forwarder's a thing that literally, yeah, goes forward and pushes logs. It's a smaller one than the big cranes and all the rest of it, so it goes forward. Yeah, a bit like you'd say a scout in an army is the one who leads. Yeah, that's the best way I can say to put that. Right, let's see. The camel. I was going to say I hope I've not got that big one, but let's. I think we'll be close, but I reckon we'll do it. Let's gather this together, a couple of these, and I reckon, yeah, we'll have this sorted. So we've made, obviously we've not made a fortune, and that was never the what it was on about, really. It was always about, oh, we've got a little one as well. Oh, let's grab you, actually. I was aiming for you as well, but yeah. I think, did I get all that little patch? There was a little patch as well. I think I got it all. Right, let's stick this in before it gets a little too heavy. And maybe a little tiny bit of clean up as well. But I don't think so, though. I think noticed there was a piece of wood the other side of the truck that had fallen out probably last time. So there's that to clean up, which, yeah, I'll probably get forgotten, knowing me. Now, I think we ought to throw some straps over this before, yeah, a disaster happens. Because, yeah, it is necessary, really. Somewhat, yeah, sometimes the straps don't work. I don't know whether you're too close. I'm going to have to get to watch this closely to see what it is that does it. Yeah, so, yeah, a necessary session. We're still okay for the... I would like to go through till August morning. That's from a real plan. I'm on a piece of wood. I wondered what was happening. Yeah, little bits like that. This is why I do like to do it in winter when your grass has gone down a little bit, because these little bits where you can not always see them. Alright, let's grab that chunky bit as well, and hopefully get those little bits done as well. Yeah, and that's the other thing. There's a lot of trees that are getting in the way. On that time-lapse was a bit of a nightmare at times, because, yeah, I was going way too close to the trees, because of course there's trees all around us. Yeah, I mean that's the only bad side of FS, is the fact that it always has intruded when you do this type of thing. Let's see if we can get that one as well. Yeah, I knew oh no, I haven't, thank goodness. I thought I might catch that one as well, but yeah. Well, we've done a good job. This needed doing, and I thought you can't keep ignoring it. And then you do sometimes say things not in jest, but you say something that's sensible, And then you think, yeah, I've got a point actually. I was putting it off, but I really, now is the perfect time, and it is true. Now then, this is that. I think we ought to go to the front. I reckon that's going to collapse everywhere if I do it there. And it is very high, so be careful, or it'll tip you over. Yeah, that tree there is really, really getting in the way. Now then, I think we've cleared it really, and if I'm not careful, I'm going to lose that. You've got to get your angles right when you drop in like that from a height, because you can do it. If you gauge it correctly, you'll keep them inside the bars. But if you gauge wrongly, they'll just fall straight out the other side. Yeah, I've had plenty of practice on Silverrun of doing that, which of course, yeah, depth perception on FS again is one of those things that is a little bit, yeah, it's not perfect. But I have got to be honest, as I have said, and I do take my hat off to Giants for that, to actually have physics anywhere like, physics is an absolute, well, it's a set of laws that are exceptionally precise, and for Giants to get it anywhere near right is definitely a fantastic achievement. It really is. Yeah, unlike the fact the AI pathfinding, as I believe they call it, that is absolutely atrocious, and I think they ought to throw it open to someone like the whoever made Follow Me in FS19. They got it right. I think they ought to throw up the rulebook and not try to use pathfinding, because it looks atrocious and is so that I'm seriously not wanting to use Follow Me at all because of how awful it is, with them jerking around like a demon possessed creature. Yeah, when you do Follow Me with on PC or Mac now, it is awful. It really does look terrible. So yeah, I'm seriously thinking of off-camera using resets far more, because again, this is what I'm on about. Don't like doing it, and I wouldn't do it on camera. But there are some times when you can't. It's going to take you an hour to shift. No, I'm not sure I'm right on that. We shall see. Bad. Yeah, it would take you an hour, and the only way to do it is to reset things. I know it's naughty, but again, it's that thing that if everything worked as it should and the Follow Me worked as it should, then you wouldn't do it. And I'm quite sure that the people on console do it as well, because yeah, I mean, I do try to be as realistic as possible, but then there's the time constraint. We've all got a life, and so you've got to there's got to be a balance. Right, I think we're not far off. Yeah, there's a few little bits. They are little. No, that's a fairly large one. Let's try and get it central. In fact, let's push it along the floor and see if we can get this something like. Ooh, I think that's about it. Apart from that one that I was on about, let's try and even get the stragglers. Get that one as well. Let's for once do a good job. No, that makes it sound like I never do a good job. I do try. There you are. I think that you're the one. I'm sure you were. There we go. Smash it out. No, I'm not sure that is the one though. I'm sure there was one over this side. Let's have a quick look. It might have been that one. No, that's still on. No, it may have been that one. I think it may have been. So we might forward. Now, there was a pile of wood here. Did we get all of this? We did indeed. Excellent. Well, I think we've been fairly thorough. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a piece that has evaded us. Wood is like that. It usually, something lurks somewhere hidden. But I think for once we might have done it, he says as he, in a couple of weeks, finds one that he missed. But yeah. Right, last load then. Let's see if we can get this over in the middle-ish. I think that is about the best for a couple of bits like that. He says. Right, and we need to use our special method, I think. Otherwise, I think we risk losing it. We can only do it with one, though. I think. Oh, not sure if we've lost it on the other side. We shall have a look. It might have just been settlement. Oh, it's floating a bit again. Let's have one last check. See if we can fix it if it fell. No, that's the one that was down there earlier. No, I think we're alright. It just settled a bit. Right, I shall see you back at the wood sell point again, and yeah, we should get this done. And then, say, next session. Well, actually, I'd like to get us to August morning, where obviously next session we are going to be very busy because and also there are plenty of sets of very reasonable rollers. Yeah, that I've deliberately loaded a few weeks back and never had a chance to use them. So there really is very little excuse for, on a budget, actually not having rollers. And I do think, being as we seem to always be skint at the minute, although we are going to be able to sell some grape seed oil and yeah, and some of our olives, and of course olive harvest is coming up fast now. So we should get somebody. What I mean is we can at least, well, we can at least lease a set of rollers at the very least, but there are some very, very reasonable 6 metre ones where I can buy 2 or 3 sets and it would only set me back, I think they're about 5,000 each, or maybe slightly more when you stick the Cambridge rollers in. You can go standard flat ones, and I suppose, yeah, they're good enough, aren't they? They're 5,000, I think, so, and they're, I think they're 5 or 6 metres, so we could easily afford 3 of those and get a team going on there and soon roll the field for a very inexpensive amount, or even just trundle one worker with a 5 metre for a while, just leave them going for a while. That also is equally yet to do so, but at least for once I've mulched. I was quite good on Hobo's Hollow. Yeah, I did on that's where I really was. Don't mean I never missed it, but we did, and rolling. Yeah, we did pretty much everything, and we often weeded with the we had a sprayer as well. I don't think we had. No, we didn't have mechanical. It was spraying. Right, let's see if we can get this like we did last time, because we didn't do a bad job. Watch that wood. Again. I think it's the mirror. You catch the mirror because I can see how close I am, but right, I should say we're about there. Not quite. I think that's about as good as I can get it, I think. So then, so much for meeting me here. I brought you along. Right, come on, where are you? Oh, I left the straps on. They didn't like that at all. Right, I think we can. Oh, let's go back slightly, in case it really isn't more about it not quite being on the sell point. I do think it was straps as well. It was, yeah, that's why most people take the straps off, is because you get those suspended in the air that won't sell. Smashing. 52,280, not bad. We were at 30-ish thousand, so that's 20 odd grand. That's not bad, not really. Not for saying it wasn't, yeah, it wasn't ever the plan to do it for the money. Let's go forwards now. We might jackknife a little. We might get that little twiddle that happens when you do your angles a bit bad. No, we got away with it. Yeah, and that is where I am going to leave it. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. I'd say this is obviously now St Agnes is going to be our European map. It is. I've not had anybody comment about it's uncomfortable like it was on the test map, which of course was more about how much detail JMGaming has got on this for for that kind of resolution, yeah, the frame rate is. There are a lot, and I did notice it. It was because there was lots and lots of wood. I remember Miss Silly P saying on PlayStation about when you go around lots of bales years ago, it was very notable. Well, I noticed the difference between the wood this time and normal. Yeah, all those different objects definitely made it a bit chuggy at the beginning as we were getting rid of the wood. It got better towards the last two unloads because there was less wood around. But yeah, it really was a bit. Yeah, we will get that harvester away as well. I do promise. It's yeah. Oh, I was debating or not whether to actually. Ooh, have I caught something? Maybe a bit of a. Yeah, they do seem to have a bit of an invisible. I'm trying to think of the word. Collision, that's it, that's the proper word. Yeah, they do have a bit of a collision, an invisible one at the end, as I found out on my original when we were on the test map. Right, and that is where we are going to leave this. Yeah, we have achieved the goal that we set ourselves for this thing. Yeah, next session. Well, no, that is true. I did say we were going to sleep, so let's take the harvester. That's why I left the harvester. I was, yeah, we can do it. I was waiting for this. Yes, I was going to put this onto the trailer. That's what I was waiting for. And I thought if I put that on the floor, I then need to do the telehandler. And this is one mechanic where Giants, I think, have done it right. Where they sort of allow a bit of a stretch where the header can be put. It sort of stretches it up slightly because, I mean, I sideload now. I've done it on quite a few Let's Plays and also use telehandlers to drop them over a gate, things like that, realistically. But yeah, the Giants do allow, my mechanics aren't perfect for you to drop the header on and it lifts it up slightly, sort of like invisibly. So, yeah, I hit the bush that really I shouldn't have done. Anyway, let's start that engine. We will include this and we're going to go over and we are going to sleep through till tomorrow morning, and that's where we're going to leave it. Oh, yeah, that drops it because I believe it's good form not to have it on all the time because of the metal or something. I know there's a reason, a proper reason why you're not supposed to keep a header on for, like, yeah, I think the metal would stretch. And I see some harvesters are higher than the others. I think it was a Dominator I had that wasn't quite tall enough, and so therefore when you drop it onto there, the other trick is if you're going to use this fantastic trailer that doubles up as a header trailer is drop it near to the edge so you can grab it again. Again, Giants do allow a little bit of leeway on that, and I prefer this as a header trailer to a proper header trailer, especially those, yeah, because lengthwise this can pretty much cope with anything. Well, if you make it larger. And I'm not a massive fan of the swivel axle ones because they are a nightmare to actually do anything with, so we are not going to use farming. No, we shall drive across and then can come across at some other time. Yeah, because inevitably, as I showed on Riverside in the very last session, Follow Me was a train wreck. Much easier for me to just grab one at a time and just say, I'm going to grab all the equipment, and then off camera I would probably reset it because it's just terrible. You try to do the right thing and it ends up being an absolute train wreck because the physics aren't there, and then it detracts, I think, from you aiming for realism. I mean, it is a game and there are a set of mechanics that you can use to save a little bit of time. I wouldn't do that for the realism element, obviously on camera. Now we do want to, how are we doing for fuel? We're still doing fine, but we do want to wash this, although it doesn't seem terribly mucky actually, so I do think we need some more sheds, which is what I was on about, the yeah, extending the yard somewhat. Although I think there's probably a little bit. This is a little road though that leads through there, so we've got to be careful about what we block off. Now there, where is there room at in. I think this is big enough to cope with. Yeah, we are going to need these in time, but for now I think we can get away with... yeah, it's definitely tall enough. Here's a fantastic shed. Brilliant, and there we are. Right, sleep. Don't do it again and add another 3 minutes jobby on like you did the other day. Yes, let's sleep through till morning. Now, let's check everything is in the green on our productions. I like to do this, so yeah, it really, for your benefit on camera, because I think that's important. So that you'll note everything is actually working now. Everything, including grapeseed oil, which overnight should bring quite a bit in. Next session, we'll have a look at the prices as we... Now then, let's have a quick look. Yeah, we've lost the tractor, but... What's there? Oh, hang on. No, I'm thinking of Riverside. It's confusing sometimes, this... No, it's August, so 8 o'clock is fine. Next month, after it's September, we want to go to 9. Well, that's how I always do it, because it is... In Britain, that would be starting to get dark at 8 o'clock. Well, I'm not sure it would in September, but I always use September as the month that I start to turn around. Right, 51,426, so we haven't had... Let's have a look. Oh, the soap. Why have you stopped? Because you've run out of olives. So we've got 8 tons of soap, and it is on spawn. Okay. Mind you, I have sold it always like that. Yeah. And grapeseed oil, have we got? Yeah, we're just over a ton. And grapeseed juice, Gordon Bennett, amazing. It's nearly 17 tons, so we need to sell that, or at least get it out. Definitely. I am loving this. And how are we doing on these? Now they are still not working. They've been stuck on 174. Now that's funny. The oranges and lemons have gone up, but the papayas, pomegranates and mangoes, which were on that, haven't. And we have got water. So that should be 960 times 4. By my maths, if you did it as 1,000, it would be 4,000. Surely. Nah, it's showing a picture of a single one. 4 bits of water produce 1 bit of fruit. So we should be getting 960 then, by my reckoning, per month of each one of those, and we aren't. So the exotic orchard, my advice, don't use it at present, because we sunk quite a lot of money into that, and yeah, and it's not... It's less than a favourable return, shall we say. And because it's supposed to be a much better return. Right, the one thing we'll do is, over the paper, we shall have a look to see... Right, there is no used vehicles this morning. That is typical. Typical. Right. Prices. Let's have a look on the stock check and see... This is the easy way. Now, the oats, we do need to build our... Yeah, we need to get our business going to make bread. A firm favourite of mine. Now then, the... grass, straw. We do need to do the straw one as well, which I am going to pull in JM Gaming's own thing. We have grape juice, which 57,790. Now it's yellow, which means it's not at its best. Green means it's high. Right, so it's still good, obviously. And grapeseed oil, which is on the low. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the proper prices now, to be the real guide for us before we scoot. Yeah, we shall be placing, but obviously we need to... It's true. Right, it's absolute lowest. Yeah, it's high in January, February. If I was going to sell it directly, which is an option, we shall see how well we're doing, but I would imagine we should be doing well with our production costs, as we have done in the past. I would like to do the JM Gaming's own straw to manure one, and I would like to bring a BGA in, which is usually one of my absolute favourite things to do. Lime, plenty. Have I gone past it? Grape juice, we have indeed. 3,000, but again it's 2007, so grape juice is one of those that although it's got a 600 and odd rise and fall, it's still very good at 2.7 truthfully, so we will be selling that. And the other thing is the grapeseed oil, which that is high as at 17 at Quignon's, and it's very high, it's 19, so we are a very good thing for selling that. So next session we should be selling that, because that's 20 odd grand. We should, well, 17 odd thousand we'll be getting from that one ton of soap, and then there's plenty, 60 odd grand that we'll be getting for our, so we will be doing that. We'll be taking the trailer and we'll be stacking that, taking the telehandler, and we will definitely be doing that next session. Let's have a look on the map, because we should be getting, yeah, this. Also, the other thing we'll be doing this coming session is we shall be replanting 1 and 3. Now 2 and 4 are getting closer to harvest. Let's just have one quick look. I know it's extending things a little, and I want to be a little bit faster than that because we've finished now. Yeah, I want to, I can't remember if I've got crop rotation on. I have. Right, so the last thing we did was oats and sorghum, which that was a mistake. I shouldn't have put oats in straight after sorghum because they're both cereals. So we need to do something like canola in this field. So this is canola, which also means the other one needs to be something like canola. So in other words, it looks to me, if we're going to observe the crop rotation thing, either we do 2 fields of canola, and being as we've got an oil factory, that's not necessarily a bad thing, truthfully. Let's have a look. Yeah, as much oil as possible. Yeah, oats and sugar cane. Oh, wow. Someone did sugar cane before me. Wow, that's amazing. I would have loved to have seen that. I might have even kept it, but it is a big field for sugar cane. But yeah, that would have been quite interesting. Right. So then, I think, looking at things, I would like to get. Do I? Yeah, but wheat. Well, I suppose we could. No, we can't. We're going to miss the window. I would have liked to have done wheat and that for straw, but yeah, we can't. We'll get a serious hit for doing any cereal crop in this time. So we could, yeah, we could do something interesting like potatoes, but this is rather a large field. Soybeans, soybeans. Is that a legume? That's unique. So we could do soybeans in this, and that will be okay for the crop rotation. So I think we'll be leaving this field, although if we're going to go for soybeans, I think we'll leave field 1 and we shall plant this one, field 3, with canola. Yeah, I do think that's the way we're going to go. And on that note, yeah, that is as much as the session is going. Yeah, we've done well, and we have got plenty of money going to come in this coming session. We've got our soap to sell, and we have also got our plenty of the grape harvest that we're getting continually from our fantastic grape gardens. 7 of them, I believe, was what I put down. I would say planted, but you know what I mean. Anyway, yes, as always, I always love to hear from yourselves. Thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope that you stick with me on these journeys, and I'm going to say goodbye for now.